of Hebrews 11, verses 8 to 10. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. By faith, sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, that heirs with him of the same promise, for he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Hebrews 11, verses 8 through 10.
It's the Macman Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far. Tune in quick, cause you might just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the Macman Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far. Just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the Macman Morning Show. 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 Car, no matter if you're near or far. Tune in quick, cause you might just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the Macman Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far.
Right. It is Friday, April the 4th, 2025, 4 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock here on the Macman Morning Show. Grand Rising to all of you all that are here. Great day to you. I'd like to say good morning. Grand Rising to all of you. Alice, blessed child of God. Hey, Alice, how are you? Who's driving? Y'all ask that for everybody. Say who's driving. We don't know these days who's driving, but I don't know. You got to wonder, makes you wonder sometimes. Good morning to Sharon Reed, our section leader of the Altos, to our chairman of our deacon board, Deacon Al Moore. Grand Rising, good morning to Anthony Reed, our apostle, to all of you that are here once again, and to Alice, like I said, our chief usher, keeps everything under control, and things. Wonderful program that she had, wonderful broadcast that she had. I got to go back and get the last part, and we do support her in her endeavors. I don't get a lot of opportunities to come on and talk and things like that, but we do support Alice and all that she does. Good going, Grand Rising to all of you all, everybody in the bushes. Grand Rising to all of you all. Let me say this: we're not out of the woods yet, as far as the weather is concerned. We have experienced and uh, have experienced some pretty bad weather, and we have to. I hope and pray that people that have been affected by this weather event that we've been having here in the Mid South and the southern regions of our country. It's just stopped raining. I assume early this morning. It's been raining all day, two days straight, and we've had some pretty severe weather here. Marshall County, right there where WKRA is, they're taking right now at WKRA in Holly Springs. They're taking up donations of water and other essentials. Go to WKRA 92.7 FM or go to WKRA.com and you can see where your help can directly help them. Yes, it's our anniversary. Everybody knows I shouldn't have. Well, I did put it there that I shouldn't have. But thank you all for being here. 1 year we have been on the air, and we are so grateful. Sherry said, I will talk about my career. I ain't going to talk about my career right quick. Sherry is here, our correspondent from Dalton, and let me tell you about this win. We knew I knew Jason House was going to win. I knew it, and I knew that Mr. Harris was going to win, but not by how much. And even though Nate Fields tried to do what he was doing, there was no contest in Dalton. Congratulations to the new administration that's coming in. I was saying to people, Sherry, they said, man, what they going to do? Tiffany out of office or this or that other. You real broadcasters, if this is what you do, and it's not a hobby, it shouldn't bother you. And we shouldn't have taken, a lot of times people take some serious situations and some serious things, and they make fun of them. These are people that their livelihoods and where they live and the investments that they made in that community was at stake. The whole community was. And the community came together no matter how many big bingos and how many bad he did come to the after party. Now I like a politician that can come and say, hey man, hey, good contest, good campaign, and y'all not mad at each other and carrying on. Nate Fields possibly has a place in government there if we give people the chance. Just don't close everybody out, and everybody's not a Tiffany or one of them other folks. We're praying for her. I can't, I mean, she did it to herself, and there's nothing that, after people were trying to warn her about what was going on, she took no body's advice, which led to this demise of hers. And it's just something that just mesmerizes me. But we're praying for them. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Sherry Hatchett Britton, she changed her name again. She didn't want folks bothering her and nothing. But she does have a black job, as they say. She has a day job. But this is the person who led us to Dr. Nikita, who led us to XYZ. This is the person, Sherry, led us to our wonderful friendship with Martin G. Johnson. That's my brother from my heart. Hey, Martin, I know you're out there working and doing what you're doing. And she made the connection, the Thornton Township Dalton connection for me. I wouldn't have known any of these people if it had not been for her. And let me say this to Clean House 2025. I don't know what y'all going to do or how y'all setting up transition or whatever, but I would have Sherry Britton, why would I call you Virgin? You're gonna get me. I'd rather have Hatcher Britton at the table for community input. You're gonna have to hear from the community. You can't let these suckers come in that ain't put no work in, that put no skin in the game. They didn't even endorse or come out to work or go knock on any kind of doors or anything like that. And y'all let them come in and get these jobs. You got to be crazy. You have to be nuts not to include the people that come over with the struggle with you. That's just a personal observation. Don't forget about Miss Price. Don't forget about the people that were Mr. Dan Lee. Um, don't forget about Paul Roberts, his wife, Jedediah Brown. Got to give him a hand because he stuck his he stuck his neck out. I mean, he has his ways of doing things, but just give people their props. A lot of this, and to my fellow broadcasters and those of you that are doing your broadcasting that did favorable, real coverage, Regina Waldred, got to take our hats off to her because she brought into mainstream when they weren't looking. She brought it into there. Everybody don't look at the Mac Man Morning Show and listen to it. Everybody don't look at this and that and the other. Everybody has their own flavor. But she brought, and these people came on this show. Tiana Belcher, Trustee Belcher, I talked to her yesterday, which she's assured me that after the inauguration, they want me to come to the inauguration. So I'm trying to see if I can get my cameraman together and we get something together. We need to be there for that. All of the struggles that you all have, every citizen that stood up, that waited outside, that was harassed and that was bullied and herded like cattle through barricades and everything just to get into their village hall. My hat's off to y'all that went out there and voted. It was enough folks voted. Everybody hollering about, oh, it was enough. Well, it was enough to beat Tiffany and Miss Thing and the rest of them idiots and everything. And I served notice on Stan Brown, and I don't know what's going to happen with Mr. Holmes, Mr. Andrew Holmes, who knows. But I served notice on you, brother. Get yourself together. You can't play two ends against the middle. Okay, you can't be on the devil's side and then you jump over his. Oh, I want to be on you back and forth. Stay for the people or get out of the way. Ed Steve, I'm just glad. I'm so proud of Ed Steve. And Ed, even through his illness, he hung on, even though he was humiliated at a board meeting. Don't do like she did. You ain't got to sing na 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 hey hey. She was na 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 and hey hey at the poll. They crushed her, knocked her head off worse than it was election night on the primary. She didn't get nothing. 36, 37, maybe she got that hammers. It was her family. But where's all these people that got them refrigerators and stoves and got that loot and everything? Where's her homeboys at? Michael Smith and the rest of them. See, they don't want to talk about that right now, see, because I know the history. Where all these folks at? Where Keith Price ducking, playing like he handicapped now. He probably got one of them stickers in his window on his mirror, so he can park his big van. I don't know, is that the county's van or the township's van? They need to take it from him. Well, it'll be gone pretty soon. All of the rats and the roaches and all of the people that are in there doing the things that they do, they're getting ready to leave up out of there. All right, now that's enough of them right now. But I have I'm going to reach out to Sherry, and we're going to get a full. I want an unbiased report. I don't need to talk to them. I want to talk to the people that was the movers and the shakers. You know, I want to talk to the people that are making things happen. You've been on the air with us ever since then. We came on with this in May. You would be with us almost a year, Sherry, because it started in right at May. You were really trying. I reached out to you, I believe, and you were right there for us. And I just thank you for what you've done. And you just got to get credit to where it's due. It's not easy being in a hostile environment with them crazy people. They got power. It's just like the idiot. You know, you're giving a baby a razor. You know, eventually he gonna be trying to put it in mouth, cut his. You know, it's dangerous. That's what the town and the village was in that lady's hands, and I just wanted to say that. And we're gonna we're gonna do a Tiffany rap. Let's support the government that's there. Let's support the people that are in place that are doing something. They talking about black people can't move something. They moved in Dalton. They made their voices heard. Do you hear me, Mississippi and Tennessee? Make your voice heard. You know these jacklegs don't need to be in office. You know these people are just seeking power and they want power. How can you beat up on a black woman? That's him power. That's how she was saying all the time, like she had some snuff in her mouth or something. Anyway, all right. This day, do anybody know what this day is? Alice, don't you say nothing. I know you already know. But is there anybody in the chat? Anybody that's listening to us right now, they can get a word to me and know what this day. Brother Lee know what this day. He'll be here in a little bit, pretty sure with his commentary. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what today is. The 57th anniversary is the 57th year that we lost a king. Dr. Martin Luther King. Lost him 57 years ago on these very steps of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. Why did I kind of like tone it down a little bit? Here we are again in the situation. I know you was gonna say it, Alice, because you know, Alice, we're gonna talk about them voter patterns. Along with this, look at this picture, folks. This is history. Yeah, we see some historic figures. 3 of the 4 people on that balcony are not alive. Brother Jesse Jackson, Brother Jesse Jackson is still living. Like say good morning to him. He is still got health challenges. But that a man, you know, he's doing well. His family's taking care of him. But on that day was a frightful day for me, being as young as I was. And that's why I said Brother Lee is going to come. This man came to my neighborhood in Chicago, his brother Jesse, when they started Operation Breadbasket, which he turned into Operation Push and then the Rainbow Push. I think that's what it is. It's called today. But this was a picture from my neighborhood on the west side in K-Town, over off that's Roosevelt Road that Dr. King is on. My brother Lee was a younger guy, one of them young guys, not one of these in the picture, but he would remember exactly what would happen. It was exciting seeing him, according to the eyewitnesses and the people that were there. I was too young. I didn't know. I wouldn't have known him if I seen him at that age. I thought I was, I was a little boy. But I remember the aftermath of the destruction and the things that happened on that fateful day. And this Al Raby and Dr. King. That's a color photo of them in Chicago. Al Raby's the guy with the flower. That's it's Dr. King and his associates. And you know, Ralph Abernathy, I didn't forget. But he spoke to more than just Ralph Abernathy. He went and visited Elijah Muhammad in his house in Chicago. He knew how to bridge the gap. He knew, and they had philosophies about empowerment and making sure that black people had an equal playing field. Let me see if this is. I'll tell y'all about that in a minute. That strike there. But what I want to bring up right now, I want to show you some things that actually happened. That actually happened on that day in Chicago when it happened. I want y'all to look at this for a second. For those of you that have children, let them know what was going on. This is what happened to my neighborhood. This is Roosevelt. I lived at 1245 South Colon, 1200 South 1245, and Roosevelt was 1200 south. That's why it was a main thoroughfare in the black community on the west side. Check this out. This is my neighborhood. This is where, as you see, they were trying their best to save what they could, but yeah, they were taking stuff. Y'all already. When you have a people that's under pressure like this, I mean, Chicago was really, really bad for black people back then. Roosevelt had all of the stores and all of the uh, shops that we could go to. Now, the South Side had Inglewood. They had 63rd and Halstead. Then they had over there, uh, they had other places that they had that they could go to. But my father told me, he said you couldn't get a loaf of bread the following day. I'm so happy that Brother Lee is here with me. And this is the day. This is what happened in Chicago. As you know, that's film. And you can tell your kids, take them, let them see these things. Look up something other than twerking on the internet and foolishness and what P. Diddy is doing. Look at what the fight for voter rights and for Dr. King came there to get fair housing. We were living in some horrible conditions on the West Side. Rats, roaches, and people were living, but they didn't want us. They didn't want to stick people in the projects or wherever. But then Dr. King, they took his life, unalived him right there in Memphis, Tennessee. But this is what happened to my city. Little bitty boy, I was a little bitty boy. I think Lee remembers more than I don't remember. I remember the firemen running through I was scared of firemen. I'm a fireman myself. And a fire chief officer. And I was scared of the firemen. And they running through the alley, and I'm screaming blood. I remember screaming. My mother looking like, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "Hey, in the alley." And they're running from the gunfire. I never said I saw that. I remember that. That was the part. I remember the sky being black. Looked like it was gonna rain, but it never rained. It was black. It was horrifying. My father was trying to get home from work, and wow, it was something. Your grandma was, you got some unique people in your family, Miss Sherry, and I want people to see this. This is where we come from. This is what the civil rights movement. They was trying to get fair housing. People were living in the slums, living in horrible conditions. People were trying to get the right to vote, to go to school. And all that happened out of all of this, it was a powder keg. People took advantage, those people that took advantage and just destroyed a whole community. Yes, Sharon. Wow, but the effects, you can still see the effects of that situation. Wait a minute, hold on. Say, why you show that? This is history. We show everything else. They destroyed this whole neighborhood. You could not get anything. There was nothing that you could get. They burned down the white store, most of them. They didn't have, and I mean, they looted, they did things because you know something, we're not on an equal, I'm not condoning this. Now, this is back in the 60s. Where are our leaders today? This was because they killed the leader. They unalived the leader. I'm not monetized. They ain't give me no money no way. So I'm going to say they killed the leader, assassinated him. And then Mayor Daley gets mad and says, shoot to kill everybody. I mean, shoot the unalive. Everybody that's shoot, take them out. that throwing a Molotov cocktail or doing it. He saw his money going up. He couldn't have. He had control of the black folks, and the black folks went off. He got mad. All I did for y'all, all that I did for y'all, all that I did for y'all, y'all burned my city up. Hmm. Hmm. Firemen were scared. They were talking garbage and everything. They were the snipers who were on the roofs and doing things. This is what happened 57 years ago. And the orange man wants to keep messing with us. I mean, you're going to keep messing with people and messing with people and messing with people. And things are happening. I don't advocate violence. I don't advocate anybody going out to do nothing wrong. Don't be no fool. I'm not saying that, y'all. I'm just saying, look at what happens when you're not equal. People came from Mississippi, Alabama to have a good life, and you stick them in the slum. They live better down south than some folks say we live better down south than we live here. Why? Because I mean it was horrible. Why do we have to live in the project? Why we got to get the substandard food? Then they get mad. Oh, y'all tore up our places. It ain't equal. I'm just gonna tell the truth, shame the devil. Those of y'all that's in the bushes nervous because I'm playing this, and I'm sure this is the Associate Press who's getting proper billing for this because I knew somebody was going to say something later today. They're not even going to acknowledge the fact. Yes, he's gone. We know that. I can't bring him back. No, but or do we remember? I had to put the banner up, y'all. Do we remember this? Can your grandchildren, your older brother, sister, your auntie, can somebody tell you what happened? What happened in your city? What happened where you live? Do you remember anything? Is there anything that you remember? This is our community. And not too close by, Brother Lee's already up here with me. Brother Lee, you can say your good, your howdy do's and your greeting this morning. I want to bring you in on this because you know more about this than I do. You were there. Go ahead, Brother Lee. Say hey to us.
Well, great
Yeah, I
day,
think you did.
everyone.
Hey,
I
great
like to
day,
say,
Lee.
great day. Uh, I like to add a little bit to this. Here's
Come
the
on,
thing:
yeah, I want you in on this. I want you.
we need to focus on. Okay, we're gonna read some history. Let's read it all. Uh, Everything I'm about to say and I've said, you can always look into it. You can check the facts, and if you can fact check me, and if you can find something extra or whatever you like to add to it that's not true or true, feel free to do so. I don't run from the truth. I run toward it. And I like for us to stay in the moment, stay in the truth. The thing is that yes, brother Mac is very correct about his history recollections. Yes, we did have a hand in destroying things in our community at the time of the assassination of unalignment of Dr. King, and we did we did. I think some people lit the match, and then others just followed. And I think that was a part of it. The thing is that we have to understand is that and look at the totality of what went on even before then. Let's go back. Let's run the clock back all the way to slavery. They have been destroying our communities ever since since that we were so-called set free. Caucasians have been going into our community and lynching us and unaliving us and torturing us and raping us and doing in sexual behaviors on us and doing these things to us in our community way before that 60s event. Way before that, they were coming into our communities and destroying it. I mean, after World War I, they came in our communities in Chicago and other communities, and they burned it down. And they came in and they destroyed it and tried to wipe us out in our communities. We were in our communities, and they came into that, and they went on a rampage. They did it in Oklahoma. They did it in Texas. They did it in just about every state where we were in. They came into our communities and tried to unalive us. Actually, didn't try. They were successful in unaliving us by the thousands. And see, that's the thing. We got to look at what they're responsible for. What causes this knee jerk reaction? But here's the thing: they've been kicking us in the butt for the longest. And yeah, we're looking at what happened in the '60s, but what happened in the '50s and the '30s and the '40s and the '20s and all of that, go all the way back to slavery. They've been kicking us since we got off the before we got off the boat, while we were on the boat, before they put us in the boat. They was kicking us in Africa when they were gathering us up, and they were throwing the kids to alligators because they didn't want to keep them. They didn't have enough room, so they were feeding them to the alligators. They were feeding us to the alligators. You can look that up. So I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, that thing is true. So they've been kicking us in the butt. You wonder why you act the way you do. You wonder why we act the way we do because we have been tortured. We have been brainwashed. We have been unalive. We have been misinformation. We have been done those things, and you wonder why we don't have an effect to it. This is the effect that we've been having over the course of years, decades, centuries. The thing is that if we don't face it, and a psychiatrist, psychologist, a therapist will tell you, but they don't tell you. They don't tell you why you angry when you wake up. It's inherited. It's genetic. It's in your DNA now because that goes back to slavery. That's why you're angry. That's why you can't figure it out. That's why you can't figure out why come what they say should work don't work on you. Because we've been brainwashed to told that this is America, this for everybody. It's not for everybody, it's for them. It was written for them. That Constitution don't have your bit of your blood in it. Don't bit of your knowledge in it. We didn't participate. We didn't sit at that table with John Hancock and Franklin Roosevelt. I mean Franklin Ben Franklin. We didn't sit up there with them. They wrote it. White men with property and had slaves. They wrote that Constitution. Said all white men with property are created equal. That's what that meant. All white men that have property that are rich are created equal. They didn't have nothing. They didn't have to say something about no women. They didn't say nothing about women. They didn't say nothing about black women, white women. They didn't say anything about that. They said we are not created with them. We are not equal to them. And that's the thing we have to understand that we're behind enemy lines here. And if we don't keep on talking about we want to assimilate, they'll assimilate until we are annihilated. That's what they're trying to consume us until they wipe us out. And see, we are frustrated and we wonder why we're angry and we say, why are black folks always angry? Because we never got the treatment that we needed for this incarceration, this captivity that we were in. When you kidnapped and tortured, you get treatment for that. Even when you get PTSD or whatever, when you're in overseas and you're in the army and you're in the navy and the armed forces and you're fighting a war, you come back, they treat you for that. You got psychological things going on with you, but we never got the treatment. We got the abuse. Instead of treatment, we got abuse. Instead of understanding, we got mistreatment, we got annihilation. Instead of all of that, when we wonder why we say, oh, black folks won't do it. Man, come on. If somebody kidnapped one of them and tortured them and used them as slaves for over 400 years, how do you think they would act? See, I'm gonna let you talk for a minute, brother.
No, brother Lee, this is what I've always said, and I'm glad that we have this day. We just gonna go take a break. I want you to continue because Lee, you know more than I do, and the danger that I feel is that we'll forget that we pulled this wagon before. We pulled this bull. Diane Black, I'm not gonna do all that. All of y'all, I ain't gonna do all that. State Representative Esther Jackson McCray, all y'all that been listening in, and I'll behave. Y'all, I'll behave. Listen, we're gonna go to a break real quick, brother Lee. We'll be back. Hold on, you ain't through yet because if we can't take our time, we talk about everything else. I want to talk about it because I vividly remember. I vividly remember the thing that snapped my memory and that has kept focus on that. I remember the firemen running through the alley away from gunshots. I thought it was firecrackers or something. It pop, 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 pop. And that dude was running. I never forget. And I was so scared of fire trucks and stuff. The man was running and the fire truck was Behind him, he was running ahead of the truck. But look, we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Go to we're gonna go to a break real quick. You're listening to the Mac Man Morning Show. Good morning to all of you all that have joined. Everybody that's in the bushes and doing what you do. We're remembering. We're going to remember. I want to talk about it some more, Brother B. This is what we got to do. This is why we're here. Listen, folks, we have some things going on. These not we forget that if you stepped in the hole, please don't step in the same hole. We're gonna talk about some things when we get back. This is the Mac Man Show.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Our families are precious. We work hard each and every day to make sure that they're safe and secure and have a future. Jones McDonald Insurance Agency, a full-service insurance agency, is here to help you with all of your needs, whether it be life, health, auto, home, or specialty insurance. Call Farmers Insurance Agent Latoya McDonald at 708-722-1538, 708-722-1538. As we live life and grow, our number one concerns are having a life and a dream and a home, beauty, privacy, and security. Keys Home by Regina is here for you, a licensed and certified realtor in the state of Arkansas. Regina has the skills and the know-how and the patience to guide you through the rough rigors of owning your first piece of real estate. Whether it's commercial or residential, whether it's your first time buying a home or you're just looking to expand your real estate portfolio, I'm sure that there's something that Regina can do for you. So call her right now and get the ball rolling. From Humphrey to Whitehall to Redfield and to Pine Bluff, Keys Home by Regina will put you in the home that you've always wanted. So call Regina right now at 501-400-4655.
I want to say happy anniversary to all of you all that have been with us for the past year. We want to say thank you for being a part of the Mac Man Morning Show each and every day, weekday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, right here on Mac Media 3, Mac Media 3 Productions, the Mac Man Morning Show. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial in Holly Springs, Mississippi. We're also asking you to reach out to WKRA and to those of you that are listening in our region. Go by the station and drop a donation off to help some of the people that have been affected by this horrendous weather. Now, I can't do anything about God's work. I know that the weather, my mother would always say, that's God's work. You can't do nothing about it, which is absolutely true. I can't control the weather. but we can do something about the response that we have. And the best way that I know to assist, other than the fundraising, I mean, not fundraising, but the supply raising that is going on, is go through the Red Cross. Listen, folks, in Mississippi has been hit hard. And when I say they've been hit hard, they've been hit hard. I got a actual picture, photograph of a lightning strike right as the tornado was coming. This comes from uh, right outside of Horn Lake. That's an old bank building. I think that it is, or something over there. The tornado was coming, and it was coming, and it was that evening. I mean, it was as you see, it was brewing up. It was coming, and lightning. I don't know how they get these. They were taking pictures of the clouds, and it just so happened that the lightning strike photobombed uh, that picture. But that's how you can help the local Red Cross to help the disaster victims. I'd like to say also that we're reaching out in prayer for those that have been affected in the state of Arkansas. Arkansas got really hammered, and our new sponsor, Regina Mosley, lives in the affected area. Our brand new sponsor um, lives in that area, her and her family, and we haven't had any communications with them. We're reaching out to a station there in Pine Bluff to see if we could get some estimates on what's been going on. Y'all pray for her and her family and all of those families in Arkansas that this is affecting them. It's them today, and it could be you tomorrow. We don't know what could happen. This is a natural disaster, and we're trying our best to reach out to those of you. Check on your people if they're in the southern region of Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama. Check Georgia, all down in the eastern south. Check on your folks, see how they doing. Check on, if grandma down there, y'all need to call grandma, find out what's going on, because this weather is nothing to play with. This is spring weather. This is the harshest spring that I've seen us have. Listen, I want to say good morning to Diane Black. Diane Black, the next Congresswoman from the state of Mississippi. Diane got something up her sleeve. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's got something up her sleeve. Like to say, I got another announcement I'm going to talk to you all about involving Little Red or Big Red's Blues Lounge. Nothing bad. It's something good. Y'all going to be shocked to know I haven't revealed him, but I'm going to reveal him today. I'm going to tell you, I might. Okay, but Michelle Franklin's tax service, y'all don't forget about Michelle. Michelle's still waiting for your tax returns to process them, to get them off so that you can get your refund while you can, because we don't know what's happening in D.C. with the IRS. But while it's moving, y'all get your returns in. Get your free estimate without leaving home. Convenient way to receive your refund. Personal and business and 1099 customers are welcome. Schedule your free estimate. Right now, she'll be waiting on it. And if you do business with her, get you a refund. She will give you a 3-day, 2-night vacation right in the lower 48. That means these states that's hooked up, you can't go to other territories and stuff like that. You can come. And there's a lot of nice, wonderful places to go to. That's wonderful. You can go to. But let her do that. She can get you up to $7,000 in advancement. Call Michelle at area code 708-296-3133. That's 708-296-3133. Also, her credit repair business and restoration and business credit to help you out if you got a small business or a business that needs some funding and needs some seed money. She can probably help you. You could still call Michelle at that same number, 708-296-3133. Pizza Pro XL. We want to say good morning to all of you all in Quitman County. We know that you all have, y'all got hit too. Pretty rough, but not too bad down there in the Delta. We want to say hello to everybody down there. Hope that all is well. Ida McCrae is doing good. Mama's doing well down there. There's a lot of flooding that's getting ready to happen. The water is high. Y'all be careful. Get your mothballs out because y'all know here in the South and in the South region, you got them critters. I don't want to say what they are to make y'all nervous, but get you some mothballs and put around your house for the snakes, water snakes and things like that. There's so much water out there and it's so wet. And I don't think that we're out of the woods right now. They're talking about more bad weather, but we're rooting for the people down there at Pizza Pro XL. That's 286 East Main Street. We want to thank Miss Bridget for being a part of our broadcast family, and y'all go down there and support her. She's at 286 Main Street in Marks, Mississippi. Y'all go down there and get your lunch. Those of y'all that are in the house and y'all stuck in that region, Panola, Quitman, Tunica, uh, uh, Kahoma, all around there, y'all go and order your pizza and y'all stay in the house, stay off the roads if you can. Please do, ma'am and sir. Support black business, support our businesses, support our community. I want to thank all of you all for being here. Now back to what I was discussing. I wanted to bring and give Brother Lee an opportunity. I'm glad that I have him as a resource because Brother Lee his history and his knowledge of the way we lived and the way that of what was going on in our lives around those times, which leads us up to where we are now. Brother Lee, I just wanted to say, because people say it's nostalgia, but you got to know, man, there's a lot of people say, man, they kept y'all off the bus. Man, they kept you, y'all had separate drinking fountains. You couldn't go and go to the show without sitting with Billy and Lula. I mean, Louise, all of them. We couldn't go sit with our wife. You could not do that. You couldn't go to your friends and do the sleepover. Y'all couldn't have no girls' night out and go on the ship. On the ship, oh, very few black people were taking them cruises. Now that we're doing everything and flying and living our best life, going to Dubai and all these other places and got our passport, there was a time that you couldn't do that. And you know what? Time has rolled so far that we have forgotten about it. But those were the things that we were fighting for and are fighting for today. Now, good people, there was a picture that I wanted to show you, and somebody, you can get mad. I ain't worried about people getting mad. I'm a newsman. I'm a reporter, broadcaster. And I'm just going to bring the comparison. Now, this is part of my little commentary. These two gentlemen right here, leaders in the North. He came from the South. This leader was already there. One ain't going for it. One is a nonviolent person. One say, you hit me, I'm going to knock you out completely. One says, I'm going to turn the other cheek. One says civil disobedience, meaning marching and doing other things. The other leader says, by any means necessary, take care of your community. Get us together. Let's do what they did. If they don't want us in the community, we need to go. The others is saying we need to get along in harmony. These are the things that were going on between leaders of the civil rights movement at the time that the good Dr. King was unalived. Economics. He went to Memphis area. They getting ready to do all kind of celebrations and everything, and we killing each other and shooting, and they unaliving each other and drive-bys and everything, and we doing any and everything. They getting ready to turn the school system over in Memphis, Brother Lee. They're getting ready to give it back to the states, saying that they can't do what they need to do and educate our children. When people died, begging for decent books, begging for decent classroom, for decent living conditions. A mother or father or people out there, their homes are broken up because the welfare system say, in order for you to get anything, you can't have no man up in your house. The psychological damage that has been done, Brother Lee was talking about, PTSD should be given. We all ought to be getting a check, black folks. But we done been through so much, and it seems like it has absorbed in us and we don't care anymore. Nobody's really looking at these young people. Don't know what's going on. They think the gun is the answer. We think that the gun and we think that weapons are the answer. And the foolishness that's going on, yet and still and all, 57 years ago, a life was taken and a whole world shook as the word went around the world and the country that the leader that people were looking at. There are two people that you saw pictures in the black people house. We had them in our house. Oh yeah, it was. They had this street picture. I will never forget it. Uh, it was John F. Kennedy. Dr. King was in the middle, and Robert Kennedy, who his son is an idiot right now in Washington with the Orange Man. He's sitting at the end. They had them two between him. Then there was a great, nice picture. My mother had, I don't know where she got this one from. I haven't seen it. I got to research and find out the exact picture in the nice frame and everything. And she hung it up proudly in that house. It was of Dr. King. People had a sense of saying, wait, we're going to stick together. Not just the men, it was the women. They were out there trying to do everything that they could. And that day on the 4th, 1968, April 4th, round 2, 1, 2. You can say it was still Central Standard Time. Lee, can you give us some insight? I want to ask you on that day when it happened. Uh, any recollections of what happened? How was things? What happened? What did? Were you in school? Were you at home? What was going on? I don't remember when you were there. Now you could have been. I don't remember. I remember them firemen running down the alley, but I don't remember. I mean, can you give us any kind of your recollection? What happened in the city of Chicago on the west side where this was? We got the film from. What happened before it blew up like this? Something had to go on in between. Go ahead, brother.
Well, as I can remember it, I was just a kid, but as I can remember it, it was in the afternoon that we got word. Because I mean, it was in the afternoon we got word about it because news was only on three channels. So, and they didn't have, rarely did they have breaking news. They didn't have news would come on, it would go over the radio right away when it happened. As soon as they got the information, yeah, it would be on the radio. And that's most of the how we got our information. And then when that happened, I was in the house. We were all in the house. I think our mother told us, we stay in the house. She kept us in the house because wasn't any violence to anybody on the streets. But they went into the shopping areas, where we had on Madison Avenue and places like that where they were in the black communities. We didn't leave out of the black communities. Uh, we didn't leave out of the black communities, and we stayed within our community. Most of the vandals and the people that were disrupting the stores and burning the stores and everything like that, they were in our community. We were in our communities. You weren't. The police contained it within the community. They didn't care if we set fire to our stores or anything like that. We didn't set fire to any homes, or I mean not we, but they didn't do that. They vandalized their own stores on that on in that community, in our community. So yeah, when we heard about it, we knew, even kids knew about Dr. King. Small kids, we all knew about him and what he was doing. And at that time,
Well, he was on the west side. He came to the west side,
yeah,
didn't he?
yeah, yes he did, because that's where we were concentrated, at the west side and the near south side. I would say near mid south side, 69, 63rd Street, 79th Street. We didn't go beyond 95th Street. Rarely. We were mostly concentrated in the south and the west side of Chicago. uh, and we had a lot of our own stores there, and the Jews had some stores in our community too, and that's all it was. It was the Jews, and we owned a lot of our property too. So because they weren't allowed to be in very many communities either, as far as setting up businesses, they weren't living in our community. They were setting up businesses in our communities, but we had a lot of stores and merchandise that we were selling in our stores in our communities ourselves. You know, that was the thing there. We had places where we could go shop and things of such. But and the thing is, what we have to understand is this is what we have to we are knee jerkers. We see something and then we immediately run to that instead of we have to start listening for what we didn't hear. Look back and see a bigger perspective here. And what I mean by that is that okay, that community was damaged, but the city didn't put anything back in it. And that's the thing. Uh, they let our side, our west side and our south side, just deteriorate even further. They didn't try to rebuild our communities. They didn't put any money. The city didn't put any money in our community. They still were collecting taxes. They didn't, they didn't do anything to help our community. They just, and that's the thing. Uh, when they destroyed our community, they didn't do anything to help our community. See, we have to understand this. After World War I in Chicago, they came in our communities and unalived us and destroyed us and burned houses and apartment buildings and property and stores and unalived us after World War II. Look it up. And they didn't. No one's speaking about that. They're talking about what we did. And yes, we did do it, and they've done it time and time and time again. And that's the thing. They continue to do it. They dropped a bomb on, I think it was Baltimore, a bomb. Let's think about this. They dropped a bomb in a city on the East Coast, not just in the 60s, not in the 70s. I think this was in the 80s. They flew over and dropped a bomb in the black community. That's something
Was that Philadelphia? Was that? I think that was
I think
Philadelphia.
that might have been, yes, that might have been Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
But
think
here's
it
the
was
thing: they
Philadelphia.
they dropped the bomb in the black
Yeah.
community. That's insane. But they did it to us because they can. Did it to us because that's how they feel about us. They feel that we're not even human, and we don't talk about that. We don't. What's wrong with us? We have short memories. We don't tell our kids about history. You know what? A brother was telling me this. He was like 97, 98 years old. He's like 95 years old. He lives on the west side. He has a restaurant, and he's one of my clients, and he was up there on the ladder fixing his roof because he says, waiting on his son to come. And he said he got tired of waiting, so he decided to go up there and fix it himself. He's in pretty good shape. He said, Lee, did you know that they had a plane fly into one of the buildings in DC? Yes. He said it was on the radio when he was a kid. He said, so that has happened before. That 9/11 is not the first time. So, and he was telling everybody, I said, I never heard that before. He said, yes, it did happen. It was on the radio. So it's things about history that we don't know, things about history that they don't want us to know. And that's the thing that we don't understand. We have to dig further. Instead of the headlines, we got to go inside the pages and look and find this information. Because that's the thing about it is that they don't want us to know. And they continue to not want us to know only what they want us to know. Feed us information. And that's the thing that we have to understand. I'm going to tell you this, and this is something that I know firsthand. And everything that I tell you, you can actually check it out. Think about this for a minute. You got psychologists, you got psychiatrists, you got psychotherapists. And I've been thinking about that. I know those people closely, intimately. I know them. I know of quite a few of them. I know a psychologist that has two doctorate degrees. He teaches at a college in Chicago, in the suburb in Chicago. And I used to think he was a highly intelligent man, because of his moniker, his PhD. So I naturally assumed that he had two PhDs. He must be somewhat of a genius. And I had some time to know him. I've known him for years now, and he's about the most ignorant, dumbest, dumbfounded, book learned person I've met that has that kind of credentials. I mean, when you talk to him, you like, man, you have such an education. It was such a European education and universities, but they didn't teach you anything. And I know quite a few people with master's degrees. They are ignorant. They are brainwashed. They don't let that moniker of master degree overwhelm you. Don't let it fool you. Don't let you thinking that you listening to a intelligent individual. Most of them are what I say a damn fool because I talk to them on a daily basis, and it amazes me how ignorant people can be, even though they have attended a university and has gotten a diploma. They didn't learn anything while they were there, and that's the thing. And what I mean by that is that when you see these psychotherapists and they give you treatment and you go to them and you sit on the chairs or the couches and the psychiatrists and the psychologists and you know what they treat us with Caucasian knowledge, and that's why you don't feel like you've been helped. That's why you feel like it's only temporary. When you go to a psychologist and you psychiatrist and a psychotherapist, and they sit there and they tell you, how does that feel? How does that make you feel? What do you do? Listen, they're not helping you because you leave the same way you came in. And that's the thing because the treatment is not going to get to you because the treatment, the people that were trained and had that knowledge and went to those universities, they were trained by Caucasians to treat Caucasians. That's the thing. They've been trained and taught by Caucasians with Caucasian information to use on Caucasians. That's why it doesn't work on us. That's why you go to a therapist and you still have the same problem, still have the same frustrations, still have the same knee-jerk reactions, and you wonder why come you can't get help? Why come it's not solving the problems? Because it's not there to do it, because they don't have the solution, because they haven't been trained, properly trained to deal with our problems. And see, that's the problem right there. You can talk to a psychiatrist, a therapist, a psychotherapist, because a lot of us go to them now, and we can't seem to get a treatment. We can't seem to get a handle on things because they're using the wrong techniques, the wrong information, the wrong treatment for us. It's not for us. And I know these people. I'm gonna tell you something. They're the most ignorant, most uninformed people you ever want to meet because they've been trained by the Caucasian in a Caucasian way, reading a literature that was written by Caucasians for Caucasians. Caucasians never been a slave. They don't know what that's like. They don't know what you're going through hundreds of years of abuse, even up to this day. And we thinking that, hey, they must know what they're talking about. No, they don't. And they're helping to brainwash us even further. We're brainwashing ourselves. We got, what those Caucasians have trained those black folks to treat us, and they're doing exactly what the Caucasians told them to do. And that's give us misinformation. That's to treat us in the way that they think that we are like them. We're not. We have to not use their methods to treat our problems. And that's the thing, that's just what we're doing. And we have to understand that we got to face the truth here. And you know what? That's one thing we won't face is the truth. And the fact is that our own black folks is helping us, keeping us in slavery. Just because they got a master's degree, a doctor's degree, we actually assume they know what they're talking about, and they don't. And you can check out everything that I said. The people that have seen these therapists, I'm sure some listeners have seen therapists and they've seen psychologists and they have seen psychiatrists. They have seen what you call life coaches And I'm gonna tell you something, they steer you down the wrong path. I guarantee you that. And I want somebody to step up and debate with me about that. Let a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist can come on this show and debate with me about that. They got the degrees. I'm willing to stand up to it. I'm willing to go toe to toe with it. That's what I have to say, my brother.
All right. Well, my thing is this: I took out this time to really show and to discuss the lack of, as we would say, excuse me, the lack of knowing your history. Knowing what happened in order to not make and repeat the same mistake. Not that long ago, where we were fighting for our natural lives. Each and every day that we walk out, your son, your daughter, you, and every day we go to work and do the things that we do each and every day, and we still facing racism. We're still facing the tides of other people telling us what we can and cannot do and where we can and cannot go, and restricting us to a point where we are sectioned off in certain parts of the city or certain parts of neighborhoods that we've been redlined and everything, and still we survive. Black history is not just when on this anniversary or February or whatever the case may be. We remember birthdays. They have solemn and sacred ceremony. Oh, excuse me. They go and they ring the bells. They have the choral singing and this and that and the other. And they saying that this is remembrance. Why don't we watch some of this? You can go to any of them, any search engine, and put the civil rights movement 60s, 50s, or whatever the case may be, and see exactly what everything is about. History is repeating itself, folks, but it's repeating itself in a different type of way. Listen, I'm going to take a break real quick. I got an announcement I had just gotten from a former church member. I told him I'd put this out. But you all, we're going to take our quick break. I'll be right back with Brother Lee. You listening to the McMahon Morning Show.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios.
As we live life and grow, our number one concerns are having a life and a dream and a home, beauty, privacy, and security. Keys Home by Regina is here for you, a licensed and certified realtor in the state of Arkansas. Regina has the skills and the know-how and the patience to guide you through the rough rigors of owning your first piece of real estate. Whether it's commercial or residential, whether it's your first time buying a home or you're just looking to expand your real estate portfolio, I'm sure that there's something that Regina can do for you. So call her right now and get the ball rolling. From Humphrey to Whitehall to Redfield and to Pine Bluff, Keys Home by Regina will put you in the home that you've always wanted. So call Regina right now at 501-400-4655.
If you never
Our families are precious. We work hard. Have you started a business?
All right. I don't know what's wrong with your computer. Yeah. Listen, we are winding our day down, but we're not at the end though. And I wanted to just say thank you to all of our sponsors, everybody that supports the Magman Morning Show each and every weekday morning. We are here just being able to be here to discuss the things that we're discussing. Listen, I have a announcement that I need to make. A dear lady that I met I was a kid, church members back at Greater New Mount Eagle Church. There was a couple by the name of Benny and Hattie Alex. Brother Benny Alex was senior usher for Greater New Mount Eagle, and his wonderful wife was she was in Sunday school and had the word of very fiery lady, wonderful person that had a hand in raising me and giving me a foundation that I had. That's Brother Benny. He's gone on to be with the Lord. Also, his wife went home to be with the Lord on this morning, Mrs. Hattie Alex. I will never forget these two wonderful people. Her husband was a true servant, a wonderful person. These were people that were in our lives. These are people that guided us. I knew my father. I'm not saying that he was a terrible person or anything like that, but there were people that were surrogates that stood in and stepped in for a mischievous little boy like me. And Mrs. Alex and her husband were two of the ones. Y'all that know and listening from Greater New, y'all know that you can't, if you're not a part of Greater New Mount Eagle Church, if you didn't know who these people were. And I just wanted to take my time out to say to Pastor Alex, she was pastoring. Her husband and herself, they had a wonderful congregation. To Patricia Alex, my sister from church, and also to Charles Thomas, that's his sister, his eldest sister. Wonderful lady, wonderful people. God rest her spirit. God bless her spirit where she is. And we wanted to say that. Listen, wait a minute, let me make sure I gotta get all of this out of the way. Okay, y'all continue to pray for Miss Regina and the people that are affected by the storm over in Arkansas. We're really concerned. I have not heard, but as soon as I hear, I will address it and let you all know that she is well. And I'll thank all of you all for being up in here. Blessings to all of you all. Don't forget where you come from. That's my thing. Don't forget the people where you come from and what you need to do. And we're going to, and this week coming, and the following week, we're going to put together our panel for our discussion that we're going to have. Martin Z, Brother Lee. I got confirmation from Rolanda Goodman. I'm trying to see if we can get through two others along with myself. We're going to be on a panel and we're going to be discussing some things. I'm going to try to see if we can get Diane in the mix now. You know, since Diane been hiding in the bushes and everything, and we need to hear from her perspective. We're going to get a lot of perspectives. Let's come together and have some solutions about the situations that we're going through, even as we continue to recognize and to see that we come a long way, but it looked like we took a step, 5 or 6 steps backwards. That's just me. But you know, I just believe and I know that we're going to be fine. To all of our wonderful sponsors, I want to thank you all for all of your support. I don't say a lot about, I need to, but I don't get a chance to say a whole lot. We want to say to Tiffany Kamar of St. Patrick's, Brother Lee gonna go over there and see it for us before we get there and look at it and everything. It's pretty nice. They're getting ready to rev up their soft grand opening that they're getting ready to have. And we're just grateful for everything. Yes, it's our anniversary, our first year anniversary here on the Max Man Morning Show. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be healthy and strong to do that we do. And even on this day that we commemorate the life and legacy of Dr. King, his passing, that day before, Brother Lee, uh, not too far from where I am, uh, at a church called Mason Temple. Those of y'all that's Kojic know that's y'all headquarters, the mother church. And in that building on Mason Street, Mason is Mason Street, and where the headquarters is. The night before, that would have been the third, Dr. King talked in his last public speech. Was there, and looking at it, and y'all look at it. I'm not gonna play it, but y'all look at it. The what I got out of it was I saw a man terrified. When you look at the video, you can tell for yourself. I saw a man terrified. I saw a man that somehow they say he knew something was going to happen. To live under that kind of pressure and still to be able to get up and encourage people takes a whole lot. That's a whole lot, a whole lot. You don't know who's in the, and security was lax compared to what we have it today for a man of that caliber. But that day, I mean, and from that speech coming on into the afternoon, as people were coming home, kids were getting out of school, things like that, all hell broke loose on this day. Why do you say these things that you say, Mr. James? I want you to be able to understand that this fight just didn't start. It may be new to a lot of people in racism and what you see in the history that cause none of us, they don't teach us our history or teach the history of the things that we went through anymore. We find ourselves in a position of being explainers. Well, why was this, and why do people hate us for our skin? And my skin is lighter than yours, yours is lighter than mine, and this and that. And the evil that has sinking down into the generations. Now, what are we going to say to our kids? What are we going to say to our grandchildren? I have people of different persuasions in my family, and that are blood relatives. They are. And what do you say if those conversations come up and they happen on this? We thanking God for Friday. I'm thanking God that I ain't heard nothing terrible. Thank you, God. But I'm praying for also those people that are affected by the storm. But I'm praying for us as a people. What do we do with the history that we have? Are we going to continue to stick our head in the ground, or we're going to pull it out? Brother Lee, give you your last summations and last words before we depart, if you can, sir. Oh, did I think I had him? He was here. Okay, we're going to wind down. We're going to get there. We're going to get to the promised land. The promised land is ours. Y'all don't believe it? I believe it. I believe all this we done caught, and everything you mean to tell me that we ain't gonna, we shall over, we will and are overcoming. We will and we can. You all have a wonderful day today as we get ready to wind our day down in our week. I want to thank everybody that's been here with us again through our anniversary. We're going to celebrate every day in April. Kind of like you still can help and assist us here at the Magman Morning Show. As you all have known, I haven't told anybody this yet, though, but they struck me, not in a bad way. Somebody didn't like something or something had happened. And you know how the YouTube and the things do, but we're going to still broadcast. They may not give us no money, but that's all right. We're going to be all right. I'll thank all of you for being here. Love somebody. It is not going to cost you anything to love. Remember from whence we came, because it'll give us clear directions and sight on where to go. I'm James Mack. I'm your host, And all of you all just behave yourself, love somebody, enjoy your weekend, stay dry in the South. We will be back on Monday. And as we say each and every day, just love somebody. This is the Mac Man Morning Show, Mac Media Productions.